4, 3.
Have you all changed up bowl practice any differently than years past?
No, we'll have a few more, but no, this is kind of did it the same as last year, which was really good, and our kids were ready to play and did a lot of good on good early, and now we're in the Penn State preparation.
What do you think of Penn State? What do you see with them on the field?
They're a really good defense. They're in a couple categories. They're top 5 in sacks and tackle for losses, and they move around and they remind you of an SEC type defense. They're really physical and they do a heck of a job. We'll have to play really well and we're gonna have to make sure that we're physical and we're gonna have to finish and strain.
Any young guys that have impressed you so far as they've gotten some more reps in this for the year?
I think Cavassier, Smoke, and Chris Rodriguez have really done a good job. Just watching them move around, and that's been fun the last couple of weeks. Seeing them go good on good, and them getting a lot more reps. They stuck out a little bit to me.
Any young receivers doing anything to catch your eye at all?
No, the ones that we've kind of had playing all year long are still in there trying to get better, and we still got to continue to develop at that position. But these reps in bowl practice has really helped us, and I think you'll see a big improvement when you get to the spring.
Where did you see Terry grow most in the last few weeks of the season to now?
I think his decision-making process and getting the ball out, knowing where to go with the ball, and he got it out quick the last 2 games, and I think he was very efficient, and that's the biggest thing for us right now is that he knows where to go with the ball, and we've slimmed things down a little bit, where we thought, what he does the best, and that's what you have to do, and I think he's definitely improved the last 2 or 3 weeks of the season.
Have you seen his confidence grow? I mean, is that something you can sort of visibly see?
Yeah, I think both. You look at his completion percentage over the last couple games, and you can see that his confidence has grown.
Does Penn State remind you of anybody you saw this season?
They're big and physical. They're fast, twitchy. A little bit kind of Mississippi State / South Carolina-ish, and they're an SEC type defense.
What did they do so well to get those tackles for losses and quarterback sacks?
You know what? I think they play hard. I think they play really hard, and they strain. They do a good job schematically, and they move on. Just it's like everybody else, but they tackle well in space. We've got a lot to work on here in the next couple weeks to be prepared and be ready, and it's going to be a great challenge.
Is there a guy that jumps out on their film that you really got?
They all do. That front 4 is really good. Their front 4, and I think, as a whole, I think they just play well together. Really, really good.
Which growth have you seen from Lynn Bowden just this season compared to last season?
Well, I think it's been night and day. He's real smart. We're able to put him in different positions. He's playing X, Z, he's playing F, he plays Y. He's gone to the quarterback position, and we're able to use different personnel groupings and get him on the field, and he knows where everybody is. That's really helpful when you got a guy like that.
How can you use the bowl practices to grow the passing game for the next season?
Keep throwing the ball, a lot more passes maybe in team, to make sure that conceptually what he knows and what our guys know that, that our percentage of completions are better. So we're throwing it a little bit more in team, and when we went good on good, we were throwing it more and not running it as much, and working some different concepts to see if those can work this week or in a couple weeks against Penn State.
Epson kind of flashed a little at the end of the year. Where do they have to take a next step? What do they have to do to?
I think it comes down to consistency. Epps had a chance to make a big play in the game and come down and squeeze that one ball and could have had his first touchdown, and just consistency. But I think you're right. I think Ali has made a jump, and he's getting better, playing really fast. And as Terry grows, those guys will get more balls.
What competitive advantage, or what's the best competitive advantage that the offense has over Penn State's defense?
Well, I think it starts up front. I think they've got a really good front, and I think we've got a really good front. And it's always going to come down to big men lead the way. We'll go as our offensive line goes.
Maybe you can't talk about specific signings, but in general, with this 2019 class that's signing tomorrow, how much did you guys need some speed and playmaking ability?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. I think the speed and being able to make plays. And I think if everything goes right, I think we got that done. And you know, you never know on signing day. It's always a fun day, but you know, if we can get those guys in there, I think we got a really good character group too. You know, a really bunch of good kids and that want to be here at Kentucky, and that's important.
What's your next like 24 hours like as you go down to the wire?
Well, it'll be tonight, you know, making sure, you know, everybody's got scholarships in hands and talking to them. And, you know, it's always anxious to make sure nobody's calling. You know, last year we had, you know, a player get called on the night before signing day and he got offered by a big-time program, you know, and he's here now, and that's a great thing. And so you never know, you know, guys are losing, somebody loses somebody. It's like the draft, right? And then somebody falls off the board and then they make a call. So you hope you have your hook in them by now, you know, because of the relationship, that those things don't happen. And so hopefully everything will work out right tomorrow.
What is it about Bunchy that makes him good? I mean, it's so hard to sort of separate those linemen out, but he's gotten a lot of accolades. What do you see from him on film that's been so impressive this season?
His athleticism, you know, for a big guy like that, he moves around well. He's able to change direction. He can run. You can see him when he pulls. He's got some speed and he's got power. He uses that big rear end as leverage, and you know, when he comes off the ball and does it right, I think. But the biggest thing is his athleticism.
What separated him from previous years? Seemed like his level of play went up a lot as a senior.
Yeah, I think as a senior, you go up the maturation process, and him understanding it's his last hurrah. And as you get better, you know, you might get a chance to play on Sundays. And I think if you're doing it right, you know, you do grow and you do get better. And I think he's done that. He's taken that role.
Benny announced obviously that it's going to be, the bowl game's going to be his last game. Any maybe worry that he's going to be too amped up, knowing what he has, you know, after the game?
I don't think so. I would hope not. You know, he does a really good job of each game means something to him. He plays the game the way it's supposed to be played, and you know, he wants to go out and he wants to end his career with a win with his teammates.
A lot of people have wondered about the rushing record with Benny. Is that something that if you guys kind of do your normal business, kind of takes care of it?
You know me, where we got to be able to run the ball first, and you know, you got to be balanced, but we got to do whatever we got to do to win. That's the bottom line. At the end of the day, we win that game, and you're hoisting that trophy, and Benny's short. He'll be the happiest person around. You know, would you love to get him the record? Absolutely. I think it would be fantastic. But the bottom line is win the game.
What do you appreciate about Benny, you know, as he comes to the end? What have you seen? How have you seen him grow?
I think his toughness, and I think he plays the game the way it's supposed to be played. I think he respects the game, and I just think the way he's grown too. You know, his maturity and not letting some little things get to him, and he's been able to go past that. And I'm really proud of him. He's really come a long way since the first time he stepped on campus.
Did you see that greatness in him? Speaking of the first time he stepped on campus, first time you saw him, did you see the greatness down the road?
Yeah, you know what? After about 2 weeks of practice, you know, I always talk to our players about, you know, make me play you. And you do that by each day coming out and going to work. And, you know, every time we kept watching film, we kept saying, man, we got to get this guy in, got to get this guy in. And he kept doing it and kept doing it. And then we got to a scrimmage and he kept doing it there. And so, you know, you just started seeing it through those 30 days of his first camp that this was a guy that was going to play. We already had him slated in. And we waited a couple games as he kept learning it. And then, you know, after about the third game, you know, it was you know, he kind of took it over, and for a guy to rush for 1,000 yards as a true freshman, that's pretty impressive in this league.
Everybody good?
Thank y'all.